Today on About That Life, I am sitting down and talking to a true thespian. He earned his degree in theater from Francis Marion University and was a graduate of the American Conservatory Theater. You may have seen him in August Wilson's radio golf at A Noise Within, and he stars in the film Malleable, which was produced by Lena Waithe and it debuted at the Tribeca Film Festival. Here is DeJuan Christopher. Thank you for sitting down and talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yes, because I really like talking to my artist friends. Also want to let everybody know how we know each other. My husband auditioned for a play that you were producing. This was back in 2012. Could you tell me a little bit about what that play was?
Oh man, it's one of my favorites, man. Classic by Charles H. Fuller, A Soldier's Play, which was adapted for the movie A Soldier's Story. And if you know the history, you know it's major. You know, Adolf Caesar, Denzel Washington, James Pickens, Brent Jennings. There's so many legendary artists. Samuel L. Jackson, who really broke their bones for that play, and a few went over to the movie. So a little backstory to that, I was doing a play in Chicago, and a gentleman, Mr. Michael Lange, whose brother is Ted Lange from The Love Boat, right? Played Isaac. He said, man, you should try to produce. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, man, you'll be good at produce. And he said, I said, okay, yeah, maybe I'll think about it. And on the flight home, he said, man, have you thought about what I said? I was like, what? He was like, producing a play. I was like, sure. He said, well, okay, what would you produce? I said, A Soldier's Play. He said, really? I said, yeah. He said, well, I got a copy of the script at my apartment. So when we land, boom. So went there. I contacted, I think it was Samuel French, about the rights. He gave me the rights, and I said, oh. They were like, yeah, you can have them from this time, that time. I said, okay. So then I started scouring for places to produce the play. Found Fort Mason. You know, the play is based in the Army, right? World War II. And I was like, okay, yeah, Fort Mason, Army, you know, post. And then, so then we started, fast forwarding, we started having auditions. And the director, Abby Rome, shout out to Abby.
Hi, Abby.
Anybody know Abby, man? Abby.
I haven't seen him since 2012.
Abby could be a character, but Abby was like, he was like, I want you to be Peterson. I want you to be Peterson. I was like, nah, man, that's Denzel role. I want to do CJ.
That's CJ, funny, because you love Denzel.
I love Denzel, but I was like, nah, CJ the one, man. I'm going to learn how to play that guitar. So we started doing auditions, and there was a few guys that came in that were good as Peterson. Nobody came in could do CJ. So it was our last day. It was on a Sunday. And it was our last slot. And we were about to like shut down for the day. And I remember our assistant, Kim. Kim said, oh, we have a gentleman that just showed up who wants to audition. Abby was like, no, we're done. He should have been here earlier. And I was like, where's he from? She was like, Vallejo. I said, man, and we're in San Francisco, right? I said, man, this brother drove all the way from Vallejo. That's 2 bridges. That's 2 tolls he got to pay. I said, man, let him audition. At least we can do, right? So Abby said, all right, let him come in. And he comes in, and I remember Abby was like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, oh, I'm fine. How you? He was like, I'm blessed. I'm favored. I was like, okay. And I shook his hand and everything. And then Abby said, well, what role would you like to audition for? And he said, CJ. I was like, shit. I already knew. I said, looking at his physique and the way he's presenting himself, I said, man, this brother got any chops, man. He about to take CJ from me.
The whole time you're just like, I hope he fails.
Man, I was like, man, because I want CJ. And then, man, like he lit the room on fire. He really did. And then Abby tried to stumble. Abby said, well, let me hear some of your voice. Let me see, can you sing? And he started singing. I was like, damn. And then Abby said, well, can you play guitar? He said, I can play a little bit. I was like, damn. All right. And so then he left. I was like, all right, man, nice to meet you, brother. And I remember Abby turned to me and said, so, are you doing Peterson or you don't want to be in the show?
Ooh.
Just like that. I said, yeah, that brother was bad, right? And lo and behold, man, we become best friends.
Aww.
Like, yeah.
You were our best man at our wedding.
I sure was, man. What an honor. And I would say this, though. He did with CJ what I couldn't do. It was his. There's like, you know Stephen McKinley Henderson?
No.
The actor? He's like with Sony. He's done a lot of work on Broadway, some TV and
sure
film.
I've seen him.
Yeah. And because he just, I think he was nominated for a Tony between Riverside and Crazy. But I had the privilege to have a Zoom meeting with him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a gentleman out here that I befriended with good friends with him from back in the day. Put us on Zoom together, right?
Nice. And
he said something to me. He said, young brother, I want you to remember this in the world. If it's for you, it won't get past you. If it ain't for you, you'll never catch it.
Wow.
So accept what's for you as your blessing, and what's for somebody else, that's their blessing. And it was right, because like he was the glue for us in that piece.
That was a good show. It was really good production.
Man, it was a lot of talent there, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we had some fun.
It was nice seeing all those, beautiful black men just on stage, just
telling
killing
that story.
it.
Telling that story.
And I mean, I would like to see you do CJ one day, but I'm going to be in favor of my husband. So sorry. That's just the truth. I don't even need to talk anymore. Like, you just laid all the foundations of everything, just like life and acting. Like, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. It'll work out for you when it's for you. But
it's easier said than done, though. I struggle with it.
Yes.
To be honest.
I love that you're even talking about that. Like, how did you get to that? How did you get to that mindset?
Oh, I'm going to be honest. A lot of prayer. And then, talking to other artists. Because I have a problem at times where I suffer in silence, to be honest with you. Because I'll look at someone else, I'll be like, man, they moving and shaking, they're moving and shaking, man, I'm not doing something, man. And it's like, sometimes when you're not getting offers, or you're not getting an opportunity to audition, or you're auditioning and auditioning, you're not landing anything, you have to be comfortable in that peace, find peace in that stillness and that silence.
Stagnancy.
But then, when you do open up your mouth to someone that you might perceive as a fierce actor, a fierce dancer, singer, there's an artist that's out here killing it. And then they'll say, man, I haven't worked in a year. And you're like, what? Why haven't you worked? Oh, nobody will hire me. What? You auditioned a few times? Yeah. And then, I'm not alone. And then you start building like community and family, and then you start trying to find ways of even working together, and just trying to navigate the waters, finding yourself, to understand that sometimes it's not you. And I was just taking it very personal. Like, man, I'm a sacrifice. I'm from South Carolina. I done moved out here, man. Like, I done got my education in this field. Like, you don't understand, I'm working 2-3 jobs. What do you mean I'm not good enough? You don't want me. And it's like, well, did you think about the brother that came out here from Chicago? The sister that came out here from Ohio? Working multiple jobs, a mother, a wife. Those multiple jobs right there, you know what I mean? And I'm like, so you're not alone, you know what I mean?
But you feel alone, so
you do sometimes, So, and I think the industry does that to you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, but that's why I say, it's important to commune with other artists, so we can like break bread and just talk, because you'll be surprised how the person to the left of you or to the right of you have been in your shoes, or they're going through the same season.
You should be an inspirational speaker. Okay, so one of my first questions is, what do you love about acting, and why do you do it?
Ooh.
Because I hope you like it, or at least love it.
Nah,
to be doing it as long. How long have you been doing it?
It's my call. I've been training since I was 14, since 9th grade.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm 40 now.
You didn't have to say
I'm proud of it.
Okay.
I'm not one of those artists that hide it. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a journey, so I'm happy to be here. Experience, yeah. So yeah, and I've been training since 9th grade, and I love it. And for me, it's so rewarding because I didn't want to do it. I was focusing on being an athlete. That was my trajectory. I was a prodigy in baseball. My grandfather had me playing baseball from the time I was 5 years old. I played high school ball. I mean, that was it. Like, I was going to go to the pros. And I had a cousin Cent, when I was in 8th grade. We were at my great-grandmother's house, her grandmother's house. And she said, Juan, next year when you're in high school, I want you to go out for the drama club. I was like, what? Nah. That ain't me.
Right,
she was like,
other people,
yeah,
the geeks, the nerds.
That's how I was thinking, right? Literally. She was like, no, you do all these impersonations. You do Uncle Rel and you do your father, you do your grandmother, you do all these people. You need to do it. You need to try it. And she did in high school and some in college, right? And I was like, nah, man, that's gonna cramp my style. She was like, you don't have no damn style. It's facts though. She was like, you don't have no damn style. This is what you're gonna do. And I'm not debating what you're gonna do it.
Wow.
And I was like, man. And I told my father, man, I was like, man, cousin sit, man, making me go do theater. And I respect her, because her and my father, they're first cousins, but they're like brother and sister, right? And she's always given me love, respect, and grace. So for her, like, her position in my life and in the family, her word is golden. So she said, do it, I'm going to do it. Because I come from that school of thought, when somebody that's in your community can discipline you or reprimand you, they say, jump, you say, how high?
Yes.
So I remember being in 9th grade, and it came across, at the end of the day, it came across the loudspeaker, right? When they're doing the daily announcements at the end of the day. And they were like, auditions for Theater 1 is going to be happening in the theater at 3:30, and we were getting off at 3:15, right? And I was like, man, damn, I gotta go do this, man.
Yeah, we got time to do it.
I gave her my word, man. And I'm telling you, it was like the Green Mile, man. For me, like walking from my classroom. I remember I was in algebra at the end of the day, my last period. I was like, no, I gotta walk all the way to the theater to do this, man. And I remember friends of mine like, hey, man, what you about to do, man? We about to go in? I got something to do right now. I didn't tell them theater because I went to the same high school my mom taught at. So I was like, yeah, my mom got me doing something right now. But I'll get up with you, though. So I'm like, all right, let me get to this theater. And I remember the teacher, Ms. Wisner, she said, let's do a little improv.
Ooh.
And I was like,
on the first day, wow.
Yeah. I was like, okay. What's that? Like, I don't know, okay.
What is
and
that?
she was just throwing out scenarios and then different things. And then I'm like, it's kind of like what we do, though, as Black folks in our family. I was like, oh, yeah, I can jump in there because like, that's how Uncle Herman speak when he playing tongue. Oh, that's my father right there when they playing Bid Whiz. Oh, that's my mama when she listened to Shirley Caesar, making salmon croquettes. I just dove into it. She was like, you have talent. And she said, you know what, you're too talented for drama 1. I want you to come back for the honors drama auditions. Now I'm in 9th grade. That's for seniors. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll come back for that. Everybody likes acceptance, right? So it was cool. And then lo and behold, who knew? But then I would say, when I look back on it now as an adult, my time growing up in the church prepared me. And I didn't know it. Because like my grandmother used to make me learn different passages in the Bible. And I had to get up and speak in front of the church and present. And she would say, project, shoulders back, chest up, chin down, make eye contact, land on these words, enunciate, all these different things. And then now when I get into theater in high school, and she's like, yeah, make sure you guys project me. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I've been doing.
Right.
Oh, okay.
This is church.
Yeah, but so I know that was a long thing.
No,
I
it's
said.
okay.
But yeah, I love it because it's healing, it's community. Like, not only do I get to, and it's therapy in a sense, not only do I get to explore who I am and who I can be as an artist, as a man, I get to also heal others because there's power in what you do. Right? You're a doctor, you're a healer on that stage or on that screen. And so that's why I love it, man, because you just never know like who you can touch with your craft, your work. And I know I've been inspired by watching other artists. Like even watching you, like I will never forget while you were in Berkeley doing your thing and you was on stage with a brother that was on Broadway.
Wilson Jermaine Heredia.
There it is. See, I don't remember his name, but I remember. I said, "Oh, he was on Broadway."
Yeah.
And I remember you were dancing all around and everything, and people came to see him. But then everybody was like, "Who is she?" I was like, "Oh yeah."
No, they didn't.
No, it's true. I remember. I was like, "Yeah, that's my boy's girl. That's my boy's girl." And I was just like, "Dang, do I look like that? Do people look at me like that?" That's what I want to do. I'm being honest. Like you were shining. I was like, okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Facts. Facts.
But I laughed that you said you wanted to be an athlete first.
Yeah.
Because it seems like athletes want to be actors now.
They do.
Because like the athletic, life that's not going to go on for a long time.
No.
So sometimes maybe they want to be actors, but you wanted the opposite. That's very interesting.
Like I said, really, I didn't really have a choice. Like, like sports are big in my family, but like I said, from the time I was about 5 years old, my grandfather took me to the diamond. He was like, "You're gonna play baseball,"
right?
And it was in a sense because when he was in school, he had to stop school and to help take care of the farm, take care of the family. And all I ever heard was he was a great athlete. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. And then I ended
up his dream.
And I ended up being a prodigy, to be honest with you. Like, seriously, I had professional teams like the Atlanta Braves and others, Cincinnati Reds, Toronto Blue Jays, looking at me and all of this stuff. And then who knew? Like,
had a different path.
Yeah.
So do you like film or do you like stage better?
Stage.
Why?
I'll give you an example. And I learned this from George C. Wolfe watching one of his interviews, and it's so true. For theater, people sit like this. It's a visceral reaction. It's a living thing. It's real. You can touch it. You can feel it. You can smell it. But when you go to the movie theater, people sit back like this. You enjoy it, with your popcorn, but it's a different thing. It's a different thing to go see an artist embody a character and you see them from beginning to end, living in that moment. There's a different type of reaction that you get. And there's a different type of understanding and spiritual movement that happens where you leave that theater different. You question life. You question, I will speak for me personally. It's very rare I get that from film. It's more stage. But then on the other side too, as an actor as well, the process of TV and film is like, hurry up and wait. I'm like, man, we could have done all this stuff right now. And then like sometimes you'll work out, no disrespect out there to, TV, film actors that solely do that because it's a craft, it's a skill into itself. But sometimes it's frustrating to get someone who hasn't trained in our discipline and like they're struggling with a page of dialogue. And it's like, cut. But I'm being honest, like they're struggling. And you're like, you number one? Oh my gosh. Oh. Like, oh really? Like, dang. Like, man,
you have to sustain the character in stage the entire time.
Exactly.
Through mistakes and everything else.
Yes.
You have to sustain it.
So,
Film, it's cut. Okay, let's try one more time.
And it's true. It's like, let's keep it real. Like, in film and TV, like I tell people, and I'm not trying to be a theater snob, but I have to be honest. Like my mother, she's a teacher, but she doesn't know anything about the craft. So she'll say, like, we'll sit down and she'll be like, is he a good actor? He's a good actor. I said, well, what do you think, Mom? She's like, well, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I feel like these emotions or something that you talk about. Da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, what do you think makes him good? Or her, good? And I said, sometimes she's on the money. And I said, no, you're bringing something to it. See, that's that music that's behind. When you hear those guitar strings or you hear that violin, see, that's the editing right there that's doing it. But did the actor do it? Mm-hmm. And I would say, to really give a really good performance, all you need to do is sustain 20 seconds of a performance. And then they cut it, spice it, but there's no edit on stage.
The gift of movie, I guess.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me, it's stage. Nothing like it.
So what was your first play and what is your favorite play? I'm excited to hear this answer.
My first play. Ooh, thank God it was hardly. I don't think.
Because mine was like on the Chipman circuit. Mine was a play, like one of those.
Oh, you mean like as a professional artist?
Or just a
in
child?
General,
anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope there's no footage of this. It was called The Toys Take Over Christmas.
Okay.
High school, and I played the Energizer Bunny.
Wait, what?
Had on this pink suit, man. Had this.
I want to see the footage right
now. Had this fuzzy tail.
There's some
and I was boom. boom, boom.
You got the camera operator over here, my husband laughing. The Energizer Bunny, what does that have to do with Christmas?
They made him like for Christmas because he's, all these batteries. He had to keep bringing, he keeps going and going and going.
Did you say that?
And he's bringing, keep going and going and going. And he kept delivering batteries to people for their toys. Kids, they're running, oh, my rock'em sock'em robot, I don't know, whatever. Or my remote control for my car just died. Here's some batteries for you. Boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God. I think about that. But that was my start. Yeah,
that was your start. And what was the first play you ever saw?
First play I ever saw. Ooh. It was Bringing the Noise. So I guess that's considered a musical, but play.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know you're talking about. I think I saw
Savion Glover was in there. Jeffrey Wright, I didn't know. My auntie took me.
Nice.
Yeah,
What's your favorite play that you love of all time?
Ooh.
I'm sure I know who it's going to be. But...
Oh, it's August Wilson.
Yes.
Gotta be August Wilson.
That's a tough one, though. It's going to be August Wilson. Which one is going to be August Wilson? I already know my answer.
Because it changes for me sometimes, right? But I will say, if I have to lean towards one, mostly, it'll be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that play.
I have never seen the play. I've never read the play, but I watched the film.
Okay, yeah.
The one that came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is your favorite actor?
I gotta pick one.
I mean, you have one probably. Somebody that you go to. It's hard to pick one. Okay, you can
I would say,
pick your top five then. Your top five. That's fine.
Okay, I would say a lot of mine come from theater.
Okay, makes sense.
I love Miss Frances Foster. Rest in power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. And for those who don't know Frances Foster, if you ever seen Crooklyn, the scene when the dog came out of the couch and she was like, oh, Queenie, my baby. When I look at that now, and I said, oh my God, the skill. It could have went left. It could have easily been coonery buffoonery.
Yes.
But it wasn't. That's the mastery of her.
Yeah.
That she really was really in turmoil as she lost her baby in that moment. And I look at that, I'm like, oh my God, mastery. Mm-hmm. And I've been fortunate enough able to even see old footage of her on stage, like phenomenal. So like Frances Foster, Jeffrey Wright, oh my God. What can he not do? Like a chameleon, right?
Hey, he can go anywhere.
Stephen McKinley Henderson. Watching him is like, it's just like words come off his tongue like butter.
I'm gonna research him more.
Yeah, he's literally, he's so skilled. He's one of those guys that can do so-called classical text as well as he can do so-called contemporary. And I'm doing these because heightened language is heightened language.
Yes.
August Wilson is heightened language. Lorraine Hansberry, Dominique Morrisseau. There's many that are heightened.
Thank you for mentioning Dominique.
Oh, I love her.
Pipeline.
Right, Pipeline. Come on, that closing monologue that the mother gives. Forget about it.
Yeah.
That's amazing, right? So it's like they're just as gifted as Marlowe or Ibsen or Chekhov, all of them, right? O'Neill. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee Williams. I loved Arthur Miller when I was in high school. He was my favorite playwright until I got introduced to August, right? View from the Bridge was my joint. So I say, Frances Foster, and I said Stephen McKinley Henderson, Jeffrey Wright, Diana Sands, Blast from the Past.
Okay.
Diana Sands.
I was like, who's that?
She was.
I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to research you.
She was really about to be a superstar, but she had cancer. So the movie Claudine, I'm pretty sure you've seen Claudine.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I still haven't seen it all the way.
So Diane Carroll and James Earl Jones. But that role wasn't for her. That role was for Diana Sands.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like that on stage. So Diana Sands was in the original Raisin in the Sun on stage, and she did the film. She played the sister.
Oh, okay. Her name sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
I've seen it on paper somewhere.
So that's Diana Sands. So Claudine was for her, but she had terminal cancer. And she said, I know someone that can do it. And that's gifted that to, you know what I mean? But her, and then one more, I would say, I know it seems cliche, but I got to give Mr. Denzel.
I was like, come on now.
I have to give him his flowers.
Oh,
man.
yes, thank you.
I have to give Mr. The integrity, truth, and honesty of him. Every time he opens his mouth, I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's all different type of actors. Like he's different than Jeffrey Wright.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I look at all these artists as superheroes. Everybody has their power.
Yes.
Like Jeffrey Wright is such a chameleon, like where he's in, but that's great. That works. Mm-hmm. But also, I feel our jobs as artists are to tell the truth and be honest.
Yes.
And have integrity with the work. And how can you not say that Denzel Washington, whether it's Cry of Freedom, whether it's Malcolm X, whether it's John Q. Oh, come on. When he's crying over his son.
Right before he's about to die.
Oh, man.
He's like, I'm going to bury it. He's like, my son's going to bury it.
It gets to me. Maybe not because I'm a father too now, but it's like I watch him and he says, he say, it's going to come a time, son, where you're going to date girls and you treat them like princesses because that's what they are, son. Mm-hmm. And you make as much money as you can. Don't you be stupid like your father. I'm like, man. And that, he's notorious for that one tear.
That one tear.
Glory. Mm-hmm. Come on, Trip. You know what I mean? Like, so many legendary characters he's embodied. So, yeah, those would be mine.
So, I want to get on Denzel in a minute because Lamont and I were having this discussion about Denzel and another actor. I'm gonna get back to that just in a minute. Okay. But I want to ask, do you like plays or musicals?
Oh, I'm a play guy. Okay. No disrespect to musicals.
I've done musicals, but I'm not a die-hard musical theater person. Well, I guess ironically, I know.
For one, I'm not a singer. And two, I love language so much. And I guess how I was introduced to the craft was really diving into the text. Mm-hmm. And it's that's secondary when it comes to a musical. And sometimes it's over the top for me. Yeah. I'm the type of person, I'll be like, could you please hand me the cup? And in a musical, could you hand me the cup? And I'll take the cup.
That was pretty good.
And I'm like, whoa.
Take a little lessons.
I'm like, what the hell is that? Just get the cup and just sing about the cup. Sometimes
you need to sing about the cup. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe they're going to do some choreography with the cup. You don't know. It's okay. It's not for everybody. I get it. It's not for everybody. We mentioned August Wilson. I want to go back to that. What does August Wilson mean to you specifically?
Life, a chance to be special, to be somebody, unapologetically. Mm-hmm. Because let's be real, the things that we want to say, whether we're working in corporate America or being a waiter or driving for one of these companies like Lyft or Uber, some things you want to say, but you got to swallow your tongue. Mm-hmm. But August Wilson gives you the opportunity to say it. And then whether others feel some type of way about it, be like, well, he won a Pulitzer Prize award for this. So what can you say? He's been on Broadway. He has a theater named after him. So yeah, I'm just doing the work. And then I get a chance also, because I love history, and I feel he's a historian, a gatekeeper of truth. I get to take the journey of my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents, because, he has plays from 1904 to 1997. I'm born 83, so I don't know the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, and 30s. And I'll give an example. Recently, I did radio golf, playing Roosevelt Hicks, right? And I said, thank you, August. What a gift. When it hit me, the play is based in 1997. And while I'm playing that character based in 1997, I was literally the same age as my father was in 1997. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, I remember 97. I mean, ninth grade in high school, right? I said, oh man, this was him at this age in 97. I get to be my father and walk through his journey right now. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah. And we're doing it from our journey. A lot of the times, unfortunately, we have to do it through others.
Yes.
And it's not such a spiritual, visceral reaction because, whether it's Tennessee Williams,
can't connect.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, that does nothing for me because, it doesn't talk about my grandmother's kitchen. You know what I mean? I don't hear my grandmother playing a tambourine in that play. I don't hear my grandmother, singing How Great Thou Art. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hear my mother practicing on the piano because she's a pianist, right? And played in the church. I don't hear the kids outside when I was on punishment and mom saying, "Can Juan come out and play?" And my mother made me sit there and listen to them out there play. See what you did? You could have been out there. You didn't listen. But August Wilson takes me to that. And there's other playwrights that do too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he speaks to me the most.
How many August Wilson plays have you done?
Productions, I've done 2.
Okay.
I've done 2.
Just
But
2.
But I've done workshops.
You need to work on that.
Yeah, I'm trying. I've done
There's
workshops
like
of
7,
them,
right?
you know. Huh?
There's 7, right? Or is
Total of 10.
Okay.
Total of 10.
Forgive me, so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all
Ooh,
good.
so many. He's good.
Yeah. Man, the truth, like I said, it's just the truth of the journey of who we are, who we have been, and who we can become. That's why I love him. Yeah.
Much respect to him, always.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be on Broadway or any theater, honestly, if he hadn't written plays that he did. So
it's amazing when you really do the history to see how many actors that we love, that we know of note, that we respect, who came through that pipeline. You know what I mean? And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Lloyd Richards too, right? First black director on Broadway, who also brought us A Raisin in the Sun.
Yes.
He was the guy to help nurture the voice of August Wilson to get him to Broadway, you know? And it's like, my goodness. When you look at Viola Davis, she made her bones on Broadway through August Wilson. Ruben Santiago Hudson. I mean, there's so many great artists that have come through that pipeline. So even when I do get a chance to speak those words, I don't take it lightly because I understand who've come before me. And just to be able to, like when I was in 7 Guitars, utter the words that the great Dr. Ruben Santiago Hudson originated. Come on. To somebody else.
You kind of look like him. It's kind of ironic though. Okay, moving back to the Denzel thing. Okay, so there's a whole thing about Denzel Washington versus Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay, what is it? Talk to me.
Well, okay, so Lamont and I were talking about it, and I did agree with him that I feel like, hi son, I feel like Samuel Jackson is a better supporting actor than Denzel is, because Samuel can be in films like Marvel or even Star Wars, and he's not the prominent lead, and he can do it effectively. And then I saw that Michael Jai White said that he felt that some of the roles that Denzel was very known for, that Samuel Jackson could have did too.
Yeah, I saw.
I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that
fully, but I do agree that if you are a supporting actor and you know how to do that, you're an actor.
Oh yeah.
Because you have to be able to support. You can't always be the lead. And I feel like sometimes Denzel, I don't feel like he could step in and be Nick Fury. That's just me.
That's interesting.
So I just wanted to see how you felt about that.
That's interesting, right? I never thought about it. Well, you know, I think if you look at their journeys, I can see how people can come to that estimation, right? Like, Denzel has probably the most charmed career of anybody I can think of. And he's been a leading man since day one.
Yes.
But I think he could be a Nick Fury ride because St. Elsewhere.
Yeah, he was supporting.
He was supporting. But after that, it was...
Could you see Samuel Jackson being in Training Day?
Yes, but I think it would be a different Training Day. I do. Because I think they both have great superpowers. Yeah. But when you look at, again, like Samuel Jackson, yes, he's became a mega star now, but his journey, and not to diminish Mr. Denzel Washington's journey, because everybody has struggle, has a journey. Because if you read Denzel's book, A Handed Guide, he tells you, you know, he had a journey, but once he broke through, when he broke through early, I mean, it was boom, 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 boom for him. You know, Samuel Jackson, you know, they're all doing theater together, and I've seen him say in the interview that, Denzel gets plucked, and Fishburne gets plucked, and all he's out here, he's really grinding still. So
he's the one that's done more films,
right?
You know.
So he's the guy that really has to get in where he can fit in.
Yeah.
Get in where he can fit in. So yeah, I think So
you think Denzel could have played the character that he played in Django Unchained? I hated that character, by the way. I stopped watching Samuel Jackson because of that character.
I'm gonna be honest. maybe there's only other one actor I think that could have brought that ferocity like that to that role level. It's maybe a Jeffrey Wright. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's it. But no, like see, Sam has that. That's his superpower. Like when you look at what Sam did in Jungle Fever as Gator.
Yes.
Maybe Mr. Denzel Washington can, but it's like I don't see anybody else as Gator. The rawness and the realness of when he says, "I'ma dance for you, Daddy, and shake for you," and it's like we laugh about it, but it's like the real of it. Like when his daddy went and got that gun, and he knew his daddy meant business.
Oh, Ozzy killed him. I'm sorry. I wanted to kill him. Okay.
It's like damn.
He came out of rehab. He's filmed that. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I can see that.
So I want to ask.
Yeah.
When it comes to competition.
Yeah.
Are you good about that? Do you wish others fail? Because I know sometimes people are very competitive to the point that they watch other people and they're just like, I want it so bad that I don't want to see them succeed.
Not me, not at all. Not at all. Because again, like I was saying, like Stephen McKinley Henderson helped me understand like what's for you is for you, what's not. I don't want to be the one to stop anybody's blessing. Mm-hmm. And like I was even a much younger man. Like when Lamont took my role, I was like, man, he earned it, he got it. And we became friends, you know what I mean? That could have blocked my blessing. That's my guy. Hell, I'll keep it real, keep it honest. It was a time out here where I had it so bad I had to sleep on this couch. Mm.
So would that be considered a setback? Did you have other setbacks in your career?
Oh man, you have, that's life.
Oh yeah.
Anything worth having is worth sacrificing and fighting for. And so being jealous and envious of somebody else's success, that's that crabs in a barrel mentality. We can't afford that. And my thing is, just because you don't get the role today doesn't mean that it won't happen on the back end. Mm-hmm. So how about you befriend the gentleman or the sister that's grinding, that's working, that's booking commercials and that's working on TV and say, hey, can I lend me your ear? Can I talk to you? Can I buy you a cup of coffee? Can you share some knowledge with me? You know what I mean? And then it's like, who knows? That person that's up to date, they might get it in a position where, hey, I know an actor that's perfect for this. Hey, can you come to set? Can you do boom, boom, boom? Because prime example, look at Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Matt Damon slept on Ben Affleck's couch.
Yeah.
He became a star.
Yeah.
He reached back and he pulled. You know what I mean? And then Casey, they have a pipeline. Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it, man. And I'm so happy and I'm elated. Even when I see a brother or sister that I don't even know, because I'm like, it gives me inspiration, it gives me hope. And if they're working, hopefully they're looking for others.
Right.
So yeah.
Right, one last question.
Okay, yeah.
It's a hard one.
Okay.
Do you like yourself?
I love myself.
All right then.
I love myself.
That's good then.
Yes. I do. I think that's a very important question, and specifically as an artist. Because I think sometimes we lose ourselves out here and we're conditioned to be what others want us to be and see us as. And it's that love and that grace that you can give yourself that allows you to combat that. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, that's probably why you see some of us artists go through some of the things we go through, because I really feel that sometimes you can compromise yourself if you're not rooted in something, whether it's religion, spirituality, what have you, and you end up not liking yourself. Or it could be rooted in trauma, being raised up for people telling you that you're not worthy, and that you're ugly or whatever. And I didn't come from that. I really come from a supportive background. My mother, my father. My father told me, go out and make your own mistakes and do them while you're young, because you don't want to be old in your 50s or your 60s and 70s saying, what if? My grandmother used to tell me, you were born to do great things. You great as anybody else. Some people, I've been told, they mistake it for saying, oh, you're arrogant. No, I ain't that. I'm convinced. Because you don't understand. My grandmama told me my job is to be a leader, to be a protector, to know that I'm here for a short period of time. Whether you live 100 years, that's a short time. But I'm here to do great things. And I'm an eagle, not no chicken, so I don't play in the feces. So, that's on you, how you feel about it. But I always try to make sure that the love that I have for myself and the love that's been bestowed upon me by family members, people like yourself, Lamont, and others, I try to pay it forward and give it back.
And you do. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
I'll see you next time.